There is a silent saboteur hiding on your dinner plate. If you live with the daily, grinding pain of arthritis, you've likely tried everything. The creams, the medications, the special pillows. But what if the very food you eat, food you might even consider healthy, is secretly fueling the fire of inflammation inside your joints? Every day, millions of seniors follow standard dietary advice, yet their pain and stiffness persist, or even worsen. New research from leading institutions reveals a stunning connection. Specific compounds in common foods can trigger the body's inflammatory response, acting like gasoline on the embers of arthritis. And shockingly, it's estimated that the majority of people with arthritis have no idea that their grocery cart could be their biggest enemy. One of these foods, number 3 on our list, is found in nearly every packaged product in the supermarket. And it's a known driver of systemic inflammation. You won't hear this from a food advertisement. It's a truth buried in complex scientific journals. And today, we are unearthing it for you. In this video, the 7 foods you should consider removing from your diet if you have arthritis, and the scientific truth about how they can make your pain worse. Stay until the end, because you won't believe what made it to number 2. Before we begin, let us know in the comments below, what is the most frustrating part about living with arthritis? And from which country are you watching today? We read every single comment, and your stories help guide our future content. Now, let's talk about the first food group, why it's so common, and why it could be the source of your morning stiffness. Number 7, added sugars and high-fructose corn syrup. This one is at the top of nearly every inflammatory foods list, and for good reason. We're not talking about the natural sugars found in a whole apple or a handful of berries. We are talking about the refined sugars and syrups added to sodas, desserts, sauces, and countless processed foods. Here is what no one tells you. When you consume excess sugar, it triggers the release of inflammatory messengers in your body called cytokines. Think of cytokines as tiny alarm bells for your immune system. A little is normal, but a diet high in sugar keeps those alarm bells ringing constantly. For someone with arthritis, this means more inflammation, more swelling, and more pain in the joints. Furthermore, sugar reacts with proteins and fats in your body to create harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs for short. According to the Arthritis Foundation, these AGEs directly damage cartilage and promote oxidative stress, accelerating the breakdown of your joints. It's a vicious cycle. The more sugar you eat, the more your body attacks itself. Cutting back on sugary drinks and processed sweets is one of the most powerful first steps you can take. Number 6, processed and red meats. A weekend barbecue or a daily lunch meat sandwich may seem harmless, but for an arthritis sufferer, these foods can be problematic. Processed meats like sausages, bacon, and deli meats are loaded with preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. These chemicals are linked to increased inflammation and oxidative stress in the body. Both red and processed meats are also high in saturated fats, which can worsen adipose tissue inflammation, that is inflammation in your fat cells, which in turn releases more of those painful cytokines we just talked about. But there's another culprit here, the same one we found in sugar, advanced glycation end products, AGEs. Meats that are cooked at high temperatures, like grilling, frying, or broiling, produce some of the highest levels of these joint-damaging compounds. A study published in the Journal of the American Dietetic Association found a clear link between higher red meat consumption and elevated inflammatory markers in the blood. While you don't have to eliminate meat entirely, reducing your intake of processed and high-fat red meats and choosing gentler cooking methods like stewing or baking can make a noticeable difference. Number 5, refined carbohydrates and gluten. This is a big one, and it's hiding everywhere. We're talking about foods made from white flour, white bread, pasta, crackers, and many breakfast cereals. During the refining process, the the grain's fiber and nutrients are stripped away. What's left is a simple starch that your body digests almost as quickly as pure sugar. This causes a rapid spike in blood sugar, which, as we know, drives inflammation. But for many people, there is another issue at play here: gluten. Gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. For individuals with celiac disease or a non-celiac gluten sensitivity, consuming gluten triggers a powerful autoimmune and inflammatory response. Even if you don't have a diagnosed sensitivity, some rheumatologists believe that a subset of arthritis patients may have an underlying inflammatory reaction to gluten that worsens their symptoms. Take Margaret, a 68-year-old with rheumatoid arthritis. She ate a healthy diet with whole wheat toast for breakfast and a sandwich for lunch, yet her hands were constantly swollen. On a whim, she tried a gluten-free diet for 1 month. Within 2 weeks, she reported that her morning stiffness was cut in half. This won't be the case for everyone, but if you suffer from persistent inflammation despite other efforts, reducing refined carbohydrates, and experimenting with a temporary gluten elimination diet under a doctor's guidance, could provide valuable clues. Number 4. Certain vegetable oils high in omega-6. This is the hidden danger you won't see advertised. For decades, we were told to use vegetable oils instead of butter. But not all vegetable oils are created equal. The problem lies in the balance between 2 types of fats, omega-6 and omega-3. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in things like fatty fish and walnuts, are strongly anti-inflammatory. Omega-6 fatty acids, on the other hand, are pro-inflammatory when consumed in excess. The modern Western diet is flooded with omega-6s, found in cheap, highly processed oils like soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, and safflower oil. These oils are used in almost all packaged snacks, fried foods, and salad dressings. A healthy ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 is around 4:1 or less. The average person today consumes a ratio closer to 20:1. This extreme imbalance puts your body in a constant state of low-grade inflammation. A review in the journal Nutrients detailed how this skewed ratio directly contributes to the severity of inflammatory diseases like rheumatoid arthritis. The solution? Reduce your intake of processed foods made with these oils and consciously increase your intake of omega-3 rich foods, or switch to cooking with oils that are lower in omega-6, like olive oil or avocado oil. Number 3. Fried and fast foods. This may seem obvious, but the reason why fried food is so bad for arthritis is more specific than you think. First, as we just discussed, most fried food is cooked in those pro-inflammatory omega-6 vegetable oils. Second, the act of frying food at very high temperatures creates a massive amount of those destructive advanced glycation end products, AGEs. French fries, for example, are one of the most age-rich foods you can eat. These compounds accumulate in your body and have a direct toxic effect on your cartilage. But there's more. A 2021 study from Mount Sinai showed that cutting back on processed and fried foods actually reduces systemic inflammation and can help restore the body's natural defenses. Think of it this way. Every time you eat a meal of greasy, deep-fried food, you are sending a direct inflammatory signal to your already sensitive joints. It might provide temporary comfort, but it comes at the cost of long-term pain. And now for number 2, the one that surprises so many people: dairy products. This is highly controversial because for many, dairy is a staple, but for a significant portion of people with arthritis, it can be a major trigger. The primary culprit is a protein in milk called casein. For some individuals, the body's immune system can mistake casein for a foreign invader, launching an inflammatory attack. This reaction can irritate the tissues around the joints. A report from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine reviewed multiple studies showing that a large number of arthritis patients experience significant relief after eliminating dairy from their diet. This happened to John, a 72-year-old former construction worker with osteoarthritis in his knees. He drank 2 glasses of milk a day for the calcium. His doctor suggested he try cutting out dairy for 3 weeks as an experiment. He switched to almond milk and stopped eating cheese. The result was astonishing. He reported a noticeable reduction in the swelling and aching in his knees, allowing him to walk his dog with much less pain. Again, this is highly individual. Not everyone with arthritis will react to dairy. But if you have unexplained inflammation, it is one of the most powerful elimination experiments you can try. And finally, the #1 food to stop eating if you have arthritis: excess salt and foods high in sodium. Salt is sneaky. You may not add much from the salt shaker, but it's hiding in enormous quantities in canned soups, frozen dinners, processed meats, and restaurant meals. Here's the direct connection to your joints. Excess sodium causes your body to retain fluid. This fluid retention can lead to swelling in your tissues, including the delicate synovial lining of your joints. For someone with arthritis, this means increased pressure, stiffness, and pain. Furthermore, a 2019 study published in the journal Nature discovered a direct link between high-salt diets and the promotion of autoimmune inflammatory cells. The salt was literally programming the immune system to be more aggressive. The recommended daily limit for sodium is 2,300 milligrams, but for older adults or those with high blood pressure, the American Heart Association recommends aiming for just 1,500 milligrams. A single can of soup can contain half of that amount. Learning to read labels for sodium content and focusing on fresh, whole foods that you prepare yourself is perhaps the single most impactful change you can make to calm the inflammation in your body. Your fork can be a tool for healing or a weapon that works against you. By understanding which foods fuel the fire of inflammation, you gain the power to take back control from your arthritis pain. This journey is about listening to your body and making conscious choices, one meal at a time. We create these videos to empower you with knowledge that can truly change your life. If you found this information valuable, please let us know in the comments. We have a question for you. Have you ever noticed a food that makes your joint pain worse? And from which country are you watching today? We read every single comment, and your experiences provide invaluable insight for our entire community. Thank you for watching. Stay informed and be well.